So many investors get caught up with the appearance of being an investor and going out and trying to invest in these really sexy investments that they can brag to their friends at cocktail parties about. But what I have found in my investing career is that often the most niche, unsexy investments are actually the ones that deliver the best returns and the most consistent returns. So we brought in Jordan Moorhead today to talk about why he loves mobile home parks as an unsexy but very reliable investment asset. Jordan is a licensed real estate broker. He owns a mobile home park along with 35 other properties, and he is the host of the Austin Real Estate Investing podcast. So, Jordan, tell us why you love mobile home parks and why we should all consider investing passively in mobile home parks.
Yeah, I absolutely love mobile home parks. It's currently my favorite asset class. I love all real estate, but I'll tell you real quickly why I love mobile home parks. I would say the number one reason I like mobile home parks is they're very scarce. So there's only about 50,000 left in the United States, and they're tearing them down to build other assets, apartments, retail, whatever. They're tearing them down or they're going out of business, and the city's not going to let another person come in there and build a mobile home park. But they're very scarce and they're almost impossible to build new. It's probably the most common question I get from people. Oh, why don't you just build one? I'm like, it's almost impossible. It's incredibly expensive to do. The people that I've heard building them new are usually building them way out in the middle of nowhere where nobody wants to live. And they don't have the good things like the city utilities, the Walmart right down the street, close to employers. They don't have any of that. Maybe they're letting you do it, but it's too far away to matter. I like mobile home parks also because it's the most affordable, non-subsidized housing that I've found. And I'm passionate about affordable housing. I love providing great places for people to live. And we're able to do that with mobile home parks and give people the opportunity to own their own homes too. So in our mobile home park, we have all of our tenants own their own homes. It's their home. Nobody's ever going to raise the rent on their home. Of course, the lot rent goes up nominally, but all in all, it's again by far and above the cheapest non-subsidized housing you're ever going to find. They're very dependable because your average apartment, I would say, you probably know better than me, it's like 12 to 18 months tenancy. Mobile home parks, I want to say the average tenancies are around 10 years because it's hard to move a mobile home. So once a home comes into a park, the likelihood that it's ever moving is very low. It's in somewhere in the five to $10,000 range, depending on where you are to move a home. And then certain aged homes, they won't even move. So if it's older than a certain age, and I want to say that's 1978, somewhere in the late 70s, they won't move them because they don't think they're structurally sound to move. And you'll see a lot of homes that even look newer than that, sitting alongside of the highway and just falling apart in transport. They just don't do well on the road. They're mobile homes, but they're not RVs. They don't move well. Again, outside of being scarce, being incredibly difficult to find, being great affordable housing for the tenants. I just enjoy the ability to scale with mobile home parks, and that's why we're focusing on them because, like you mentioned, we have 35 single family homes. I have a few duplexes. You have to find any of those investments, and each one of those I find is only one more. Whereas if I find a mobile home park, it's 25, 30, 50 lots more. You could scale so much quicker. And the upside is just so much greater. I truly believe that the lot rents and all the parks I see, our park that we just bought, the lot rents are very low compared to where they can go. And I just know there's a ton of upside there for the people who are able to buy and maintain nice mobile home parks. Because eventually people are going to move. If you have a not so great mobile home park and you're raising your rents and they say, I can move it down the street for couple grand, 5 grand. I'm going to get out and not deal with this ratty mobile home park. So you do need to keep them in great shape. You do need to have great operations. And they're people, they deserve a nice place to live. And I think everybody just needs to keep that in mind.
Yeah, there's so much stuff. There's so many characteristics of mobile home parks that I really like. I mean, you touched on the low supply and the shrinking supply. It's the only
Yeah.
property type in the US that has a shrinking supply. Because as you mentioned, it's almost impossible to build new ones. Local cities say that they want more affordable housing. They make all this, they pay lip service to it, but they won't approve new mobile home parks, and which are the ultimate affordable
Do
housing.
you know one of the big reasons why they won't?
I've
So
always thought that it's just that they want buildings that pay higher, that are worth more, so they pay higher property taxes. But tell me if
yeah,
you have a different take on that.
that's one of the biggest reasons. Of course, there's the NIMBYism of them.
Right.
Everybody talks a big game. We're all for affordable housing. You say we have this awesome option. People get to own their homes. They can have a great place to live that they can pay off relatively quickly and own forever. And they say, no, we don't want that. And we were thinking affordable housing, subsidized apartments that aren't a great place to live, that people don't want to stay in for very long. It's all just lip service, like you said, and it annoys me.
Yeah, no, me too. It shows the hypocrisy of so many local governments.
Mm.
And because these are the ultimate affordable housing, they make a great recession hedge. What happens in a recession, people tend to move into cheaper housing. It doesn't get any cheaper than mobile home parks.
Yep.
It's the perfect, you're never going to have high vacancy in a mobile home park, even in a recession, or maybe even especially in a recession. So yeah, super stable investment. I love that the average tenancy is so long because as someone who is also in residential investing, you know that the turnovers are what kill you as an owner, like, is what kill your cash flow. So having so few turnovers in a mobile home park is super helpful. And my experience has been, I'm not an active investor in mobile home parks. I have invested in several passively, and I've interviewed some other mobile home operators on this show. And from everything that I can tell, there's very little competition among buyers because the mom and pop real estate investors who are like buying one-off rental properties, they can't afford to buy mobile home parks, but institutional investors aren't buying them because they're too small for institutional investors. So you're left with this sort of medium little range of buyers who are willing and able and interested in buying these mobile home parks for $1 million, $2 million, whatever it is. So yeah, there's just so much to like about mobile home parks. Jordan, in 30 seconds or less, how do you help people and how can people connect with you if they want to take you up on that help?
So generally, I own a real estate team here in Austin. We're a team of real estate agents. We help people buy, sell, and invest here in Austin with a strong emphasis on invest. We mostly work with investors and we work with a lot of house packers. So if you're somebody that wants to invest in the Austin area, or if you just need a referral to a great investor-friendly real estate agent, I know them all over the country and I would love to help.
Jordan, we appreciate you coming on the show. And guys, if you enjoy these quick, focused conversations that we have, please rate and review the show. It makes a world of difference to us. And on that note, we will catch you next time. Want the cash flow appreciation and tax benefits of real estate without becoming a landlord? You've heard of REITs and real estate crowdfunding, but you probably don't know much about 5 other ways to invest passively in real estate. So we put together a free video course for you to show you how to consistently earn 15% plus returns from 5 lesser known hands-off ways to invest in real estate. And even more importantly, we'll keep risk front and center in that whole discussion. Because really, what's the point of investing for high returns if you also take on high risk, right? So visit sparkrental.com/free to take our free course. Each video is snackable at 10 to 15 minutes long, and the entire course takes less time than watching a movie. Looking forward to chatting with you from within the course.